Today we're off to take a look at some of Vietnam's history, and it's not always of happier times. Hi, Michelle here from Travelling Over 60. Come join me on this adventure. We're in Ho Chi Minh City, and today we're heading off to the Cu Chi tunnels. Okay, we're starting the day at 26 degrees Celsius. Now it's cloudy, but it's going to get up to 32 degrees. So we're going to be putting on light clothing. We're going to make sure we've got our hats, our sunglasses, and some good walking shoes because we're going to be walking on rough ground. We're going to make sure we've got sunscreen and bug spray. And this is what our day looks like. Cu Chi tunnels, gin tasting, and finish the day with dinner. Now we're heading out to the Cu Chi tunnels on a speedboat. And for those of you that don't know me, I am not very good with getting off and on boats. Let's take a look. Here we go, off on a speedboat to the Cu Chi Minh tunnels. I was just walking in the wrong spot. Okay, that's the ground. And we're getting on these little boats, and I'm really nervous because I hate being near water. For those of you that don't know, I can't swim. Okay, off for now. I'm not going to fall. Okay, I got on. Wasn't a nice stepping on the boat, but I did make it on. And here we go. So we're in speedboats, and we all had to put a life jacket on, which made me feel really good. Call me crazy, call me old, or just call me a scaredy pants. I needed that life jacket to give me security. Off we go. The other thing we had to put on was our listening devices. We each received one of these little boxes that came on a lanyard that you put round your neck. It came with headphones, the little earbud types that go in your ears, and it made it really easy to always be able to hear our tour guide. Now it does travel at quite a fast pace. That's why it's called a speedboat. So remember, if you have a hat on, hang on to that hat. Now, even though that boat was really speedy, it still took approximately an hour to get there, but there was plenty to see along the way. And our tour guide did tell us some things as we went along the way, and we did have some refreshments while we were on board, which was really lovely. And just as the forecast said, it is cloudy today, but we're nearly there. And I'm hoping that the rain holds off. No footage of me getting off the boat because it wasn't very ladylike, but let me show you the path. This first part is like a metal gangplank, and there is places to hang on. Oh, I don't like walking over the water. Now, there was a bit of a slope just as I stepped off from that surface onto this surface. This is like tiles. And just up here, I'm just showing you the restaurant there, but I'm going to show you there's a little bit of a slope there. Bit more of a look at the restaurant, but wait, don't take your eyes off the ground. There's another slope.
Yep.
Now, there is some little cracks and some potholes and things, so you really do need to watch where you're walking. Okay, this sign tells us we've finally made it. Now, we have to wait to get our tickets. The tour guide's gone to get those. Now, there's restrooms here. I would use them here if you can, because there's none where we're going. Just having a little bit of a look around while we're waiting here in the shade, but there's stairs where we're going to be going, and I can see a sign up here. Let's look. It's a plan of how the layout is. Now, we don't really need this because we have a tour guide. He'll show us which way to go. Now, before we get up to where the actual tunnels are, we have to walk up this steep slope. And as you can see, the ground, it's tiled, but it is really quite steep. There's a railing on either side if you need to hang on, and just take your time. Now there's a bit of a landing here where you get a bit of a break, and then we go up onto this next steep slope, and there's little grooves on the ground to stop your feet from sliding. Once at the top, you walk out onto this like dirt paths, and as you can see, there is bush all around us. Make sure you've got that bug spray on. Now let's listen.
From here, they could go everywhere in the tunnel city. All tunnels are connected. All tunnels are connected. Security at the third level from 8 to 10 meters. It is considered like a small city underground. Anh sắp xong rồi, you fresh air. When American withdraw out of the tunnel to the bay, American build the base 5 kilometers away from here. 10,000.
Now we learn a lot from our tour guide, but that was just a snippet for you. Just looking at the path here, you can see the ground's a bit damp, there's leaves, there's sticks, and there will be tree roots along the way.
With a big scale, 2 meters long, 1 meter wide. Yeah. And right in the middle, they have spikes. There are many punji sticks made of bamboo, and all of these are poisoned on the tip. So when the U.S. soldiers get a problem with that, they don't die immediately, step by step, and very painful. When one soldier fell to the trap, he may yell. His friend surround, had to stop fighting. They came here.
Now you will see more than just this one booby trap. Be prepared. And when moving from one place to the next, make sure you look down. There is dirt steps to walk down.
I could get in the first one.
As you can see, it's really confined in there. I don't know how they did it. I just wanted to show you this part of the ground. It's really quite bumpy. It's not like a hill. And the ground was wet. They had had rain the night before, so it was slippery. You really have to make sure you know where your feet are about to go. It's not just about the tunnels here. They also have some leftover tanks and things that are left around the property. But what I do want to bring to your attention is keep in mind there was a lot of sadness connected to all this. And you never know what people's connections are to why they're coming here. Some might be coming for reflection, so not a place to be making jokes and laughing. But I also want to mention there's a shooting range right next door, so you'll hear gunshots. Looking at the path again, some of it's concrete slopes like that, and they're a little bit rough as you step off. This is just a snippet to show you all the different booby traps they would set up. I was really taken aback by seeing this, so be prepared. The further down the path we saw more of these trees with their roots out. Be careful not to trip. And there's steps where you step up and down to look at the different things that they're showing us in a pit. Mostly you'll be looking at mannequins and the jobs that they would have been doing, but the mannequins do look quite real. And then you come across the odd one that is real, and they're showing you how to make different things.
Because people may kill them, may step and kill them. I'm Buddhist follower, so I love animals, so I don't want to kill anyone. Even though
Our guide was just reminding us, make sure you step over all the creatures on the ground.
Min. So we come and pick them and let them go home. One team.
In this part of the tour, you get right up close to where the shooting range is, and the gunshots are really quite loud. Take a listen.
Yeah. And right there, they got a shooting range. Anyone who wants to shoot, you can pay $27.
A few guns to look at here, and this is about halfway. There's a little shop here where you can buy a drink, but when you're going up, be careful. There's a couple of steps, and it was a bit rocky. The concrete was a bit broken. This is just a look back at the shop from the other side. Moving on, there's a few more mannequins to see, and we will see someone else making things down in one of the pits. But now It's time to look down into those tunnels and anyone who's willing to go down. Let's have a look. A few things to keep in mind. They are not going to make you go in these tunnels. There is steps to get down in the tunnels and there is steps inside the tunnels. You are crouched over the whole time. Now I have some footage just to give you a little bit of an idea. And I have to say thanks to my husband because he did the videoing of this one. I didn't go down. It all starts with the steps going down. This gives you a little bit of a look at how close it is from wall to wall. And this little bit you have to jump down like a step, a big step.
So you're chief photographer there, are you, Warren?
Sorry?
Are you on a subcontract with Michelle?
Yes, and I am the one that normally does all the videoing, so don't judge him. The section that you walk is not very long, but my husband told me it was so hot down there, and there's places where you're just shuffling along with your feet to get a little bit further along.
Go that way?
And finally you come to the end.
Up there. Thank you.
Oh, welcome back.
And note the steps getting out.
Lucky I kept my girly figure.
And from my side, this is what I saw.
Oh, welcome back.
I got one.
Look up.
Lucky I kept my girly figure.
My husband said he did find it a bit hard on his knees because he's not 20 anymore, but he was glad that he did it. And then we found a little bit of peace here in a butterfly. Now you might be able to hear those gunshots in the background again. Looking at the ground, we're making our way back. There's some concrete stairs here. We're back to the dirt path. There's going to be tree roots and sticks. And we did come across some puddles. And other than that, the ground wasn't too hard to walk on if you don't have a mobility problem. If you do, I think you might find this a little bit challenging.
Oh yeah, bamboo boots.
That brings us to the end of our Coochie Tunnel tour. But we're going to be getting back on the coach now and we're making our way over for a gin tasting. Oh, and lunch as well. The name of the distillery is Lady True, and they have all different flavoured gin. And when we arrived, they gave us a really lovely cocktail to start off with. After our cocktail, we had a little bit of a tour around all the equipment downstairs. But there will be a portion of the tour that's upstairs, and there is no lift here. We take a look at the ingredients and how they store them, and then we make our way upstairs. And if you can't make it up the stairs, there is somewhere for you to sit downstairs and you'll still get to participate in the tasting. Okay, after we've seen everything, it's finally time to try the different gins. And there was quite a few to try, and you will have the opportunity to purchase some if you like. Once we were done with all the gin, we then got to have a box lunch. It was one of the best box lunches I've ever had. Now it's time to head back to the hotel where we freshen up and then we're out for dinner. We all gathered together and then we headed off to the restaurant. We were walking. It was walking distance, but it was raining. Luckily, most of it was undercover, so we didn't really get wet. And the tour guide was really good. He made sure we got across those roads because the traffic never stops here. Take a look at the traffic. Now you can see on the path here, the path is very flat. Following the tour guide with the red light, and it's just up the street and around the corner, and we arrived at Vietnam House. Now it was a really lovely restaurant and I was so glad I brought clothes to dress for dinner. Here's a look at the menu. You can pause it if you like. And a quick look at the food we had. Hubby and I had the same. And it was delicious. We were pretty tired, and after that beautiful meal, we made our way back to the hotel for the night. Hi, just popping in to remind you, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Have you subscribed? I hope so, and thank you. But if you haven't, subscribe to my channel. Let's keep going. Today we have one last thing to do in Saigon, and that's our freedom of choice. Then we're heading to the airport and off to Hoi An. Now these are the freedom of choice that we had to choose from, but we decided to do the city walk. The weather's the same as yesterday, although they tell me the clouds will burn off. So we've just got on shorts and shirts. I've got a dress on today, hats, sunglasses, walking shoes, sunscreen, and don't forget the bug spray. We've made our way down for breakfast and we like to start with a cup of tea, and they brought it to us in a plunger, which is really lovely. Now, I'm not much for choosing a lot for breakfast. Bacon and eggs for me and a really nice smoothie. Oh, and I couldn't resist these. We like to call them breakfast dessert. Okay, we're heading off on our city walk, but if you want to, you can hire a bike. Now keep an eye on the road and the footpath. The path was breaking up everywhere. And did I mention? Traffic is horrendous. And it's so noisy. Whew, let's take a sneak peek at what you're going to see. You are going to see brides and grooms everywhere, and lots of them. They like to take their photos, and they like you to take their photo as well. This couple asked us to take their photo. Just a few sneak peeks for you. We did have a tour guide. He did take us to a whole lot of historical places, and some of them were absolutely beautiful, but you'll discover that for yourself. We had our first Vietnamese coffee, and it was quite pleasing, I thought. But you had to get up and down these steps to get it. A few more photos along the way. Oh, and wait, I haven't done a selfie yet. Okay, I've ticked that off my list now. Now we have to get our own lunch today, and we're going to have an early lunch. Now you might remember that I talked about researching the food before you went. This is the perfect opportunity. Pull out your list, decide what you'd like to eat, and if the shopkeeper doesn't know what you're saying, show him the paper. Okay, we've had an early lunch. Let's check the list for what we have to do this afternoon. We check out of the hotel, so we need to make sure our bags are ready. Time to say goodbye to Saigon, and we're off to the airport. Thank you. Oh, anxiety's building, but lucky we have APT tour guide Sun. He's with us, and he's going to get us through the airport with ease, I hope. Okay, so we arrived here by coach, and we all got our suitcases. Now we're walking over to inside the airport. You can see the ground here. It's flat. There's pedestrian crossings. You can see Sun here will put his hand up to stop the traffic so we can all go across in one line. And if you missed it, my husband just said how cool it is inside. Now, I'm sure it's not Sun's first time of doing this, so we're just trusting him. We're just walking along, following him like little sheep. Just giving you a little bit of a look at check-in. That's where everyone's checking their bags through. But we're going down here a little bit further. And we're going to line up and just check in like you would at any other airport. And you might note that this was all on the one level. There was no going up stairs or lifts or escalators or anything like that. So we've come into the airport. Thank goodness we have a tour guide with us to get us in here. He knew exactly where to go. We've come in as a group and we're just getting everyone checked in. Sorry, just checking. We're just getting everyone checked in. Now, when you come into the airport, I want to show you. I'm going to turn so you can see behind me. There it is. There's the toilets. So here's where we check in, and I just want to show you, not getting anyone's face in, but there's bathrooms there as well. And we're just waiting, we're all checked in. Okay, we've come through security, my nightmare, but we made it, and now we're going to our gate. We are up here, but thank goodness we have a tour guide. He's taking us to where we need to go. Ground is flat everywhere, and then you're coming to this. Find your gate and a seat. Okay, there's toilets here as well. Washrooms, bathrooms, whatever they call them in Vietnam. And then there's shops, food shops, all sorts of bits and pieces if you want to buy stuff. We got a snack and a drink in the airport, but then it was time to board, so we got on board, took our seats, and got ready for the flight from Saigon to Da Nang. Now we're going to stop there because it's a really long video, but coming up next, we get on a coach, we make our way towards where our next hotel is, and then we hop on these little buses. You do not want to miss what happened. So the way that you can help me out and all the other people that might be watching is by subscribing to my channel and giving me a thumbs up on each video, and then YouTube will put it out to more people. Thank you so much if you're supporting me, and if you're not subscribed already, please think about subscribing to my channel.